welcome back to Yesterday Today. I'm Jake Westbrook, as usual. I feel like I say it every time, as usual. I should probably stop pointing it out, because now I'm going to be self-conscious about it. This here's McLean Westbrook, and today we're going to be presenting old-time radio shows all about football, because it is, in fact, football season. So that'll be the theme today.
It's times where our best athletes take the gridiron to fight for the glory of their old alma mater.
Yes, and we will get to that as soon as I address the guy who works security in this building, who is looming very large over me right now. He just walked in. Hey, Mondo, what do you want?
So me caught this weird-looking guy. He was in the dumpster out back, rooting around for stuff. We don't know what he up to, but he very suspicious-looking. So me thought me bring him in here to talk to you. He kinda smells bad, so me gonna go wash me hands for a while. Quite a while.
But, that's no average dumpster diver. That's our good old friend Willie Huckster. What's up, man?
Slick Willie, what have you been up to, buddy? What were you doing in the dumpster out back?
Well, certainly I wasn't diving in the dumpsters for any kind of food or anything unsanitary like that. I was just looking for paperwork, discarded paperwork like, bills or unsigned checks,
What is... I remember something about a bill recently, or something to do with money.
A certain somebody named William, forging our names to a bank loan to start a college?
That was it.
Don't worry, fellas. See, that letter was from me notifying you of the loan. Now, see, I can tell you're a little worked up over this. This is a little-known legal fact. If you're aware of the existence of the loan, you are not legally required to pay it off. Yeah, little-known fact.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
Willie, every time you come here, I get this throbbing headache, and I don't know how to describe it. This is just this pounding pain in my head.
Well, what you need to do is drink more liquor and coffee at the same time. See, that's how you clear that right up. So, fellas, what you need to understand is that if you're aware of the existence of the loan, you are basically legally exempt from having to pay that loan. So by notifying you, I made you exempt.
Fascinating.
Yes, indeed it is. Well, now, see, I need you fellas to know that I set out this loan for a very important purpose. Now, see, y'all are both the exclusive football team of a new school that we launched just this year.
Whoa, Willie. Last I checked, last you contacted us, we were professors at this college, and now we're the football team?
Well, the thing is, I don't really need any educators or teachers. I already have Sydney, the custodian, who we elevated to a position of professor. What we really need is a football team. See, the way universities make money is with parking, of course, and the sports teams. And when it comes to the revenue we're expecting from our football team, well, that's you two boys.
Willie, does this school actually exist? Is there actually, like, a physical school?
Well, the school is, on paper, the Southeast College of Academics, Montana.
SCAM. SCAM.
Well, we prefer to say SCA of M, but Southeast College of Academics, Montana.
Gotcha.
Willie, this is not Montana.
We are not currently in Montana, Willie.
Well, it's really more of an online school. The location doesn't quite matter. You just sort of zoom in on the old YouTubes there. Listen, the academics don't matter anyway. It's the sports. That's where it's at, my boy. It's the sports and the athletics and the parking.
So what exactly is your plan here?
See, the plan is we had to take out a few little loans. Now, the loans ain't going to be tied back to you because you didn't sign any of the paperwork yourself. See, I signed on your behalf with your signature. Now, that's another little bit of loophole protection for you that my legal expertise brought to the table. That's just a free tip.
Right, gotcha. Oh, we can continue this. We probably should start the show. You got us way off track here, Willie.
Yeah, thank you, Willie, for introducing us to the beauty of amateur athletics and the integrity
of the
sport of football.
Oh, there's more to be shared later.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Jake, what's on the itinerary?
The first show we have here today is an episode of Fibber McGee and Molly from 1947, in which Fibber and Molly try to recreate their first date, which was, coincidentally, a football game. So here's Fibber McGee and Molly.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. makers of Johnson's Wax products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The script is by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie. Music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. I think you'll agree that few things do more for a home than richly wax-polished floors. And yet, can you think of any beauty treatment that costs less? Why, a gleaming carpet of genuine Johnson's wax costs only a few pennies. And besides being inexpensive, beautifully wax-polished floors are so easy to have. Just apply a little Johnson's wax, buff, and right away your floors have that mellow, protective sheen that all the world admires. You know, surfaces protected with genuine Johnson's wax are hard, smooth, and dry. They need only a light dusting to keep them bright. If you want long-lasting beauty, always insist on genuine Johnson's wax, paste or liquid, in that familiar red and yellow package. There's no finer wax polish to bring out the beauty of the home.
Look on the bright side, shine up the right side, bring out the beauty of the home.
When you've been married as long as Mrs. McGee has to Mr. McGee, and he goes around with an expression on his face like butter wouldn't melt in his hot little head, you don't have to shake his coat to know he has something up his sleeve. Well, let's see what it is as we join Fibber McGee and Molly.
All right, sweetheart, I give up. What is it?
What's what?
Now, don't be coy, dearie. Tell Mother your little secret.
Well, I've arranged a little surprise for you, Tootsie. You know what day this is?
Yes, but I don't know that it has any special significance. Unless Mr. Wyszynski has sent an orchid to Mr. Winchell.
Uh-huh. So you don't know, eh?
No.
Gee whiz, Molly, have you forgot October 7th, 1917? The day I took you to your first big football game? The one I played in?
Oh, for goodness sakes, was that the... Is this the anniversary? Well, heavenly days. You know, I've still got the chrysanthemum you gave me that day. And it's as fresh today as it was then.
Well, you hang on to it, kiddo. You can't buy them good paper ones anymore. Boy, what a football game that was.
Well, it was very sweet of you to remember the anniversary. But my goodness, you shouldn't have gone and bought me a present. What is it? What'd you buy? Can I see it?
Oh, well, it isn't so much exactly a present so much exactly as it is, a kind of a something for both of us, you might say. Something we need for the home.
Well, that takes in plenty of territory.
Now, you just relax, Snooky. They're going to deliver it this afternoon.
Oh, maybe that's the delivery man now. Come in.
Nope, that's just the old-timer. Hi, old-timer. Glad to see you.
Hello there, kids.
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer. We haven't seen you for quite a while.
Well, I had to skip town for a while, daughter. The heat was on.
The heat was on? You in a jam with the law or something?
No, it was just the heat this summer, Johnny.
Oh.
99 in the shade, the only place I could get cool was at the movies. Seen so many Donald Ducks, I started to walk with a waddle. So I beat it out of town. Went out west, up in the mountains.
Rocky Mountains?
You said it, daughter. Ain't seen so many hairpin turns since my bald-headed sister got dressed for the opera. Mighty pretty scenery up in them mountains. Mighty sightly country.
So they say, old-timer, though I can't take it myself. The air is so much like wine, it gives me the hiccups.
Well, it's pretty wonderful, Johnny. Yes, sir. You ever see the sun come up over Lake Louise, creeping across the horizon like a Florida orange, sneaking over the California line? Painting the lake all pink and gold like a Spanish omelet with cranberry sauce?
No, we never have.
Me neither. I'm a late sleeper myself. Had a job on a ranch out there for a while up near that state park, Yosemite.
No, not Yosemite, old-timer. That's pronounced Yosemite. What kind of work were you doing?
Removing stumps.
With a bulldozer?
Nope, with dynamite.
Well, that must have been a nice job for the summer.
Oh, I didn't stay with it long, Johnny. Went to San Francisco and got a job writing radio commercials for rhythm chewing tobacco.
Rhythm chewing tobacco?
Wow, that was something you could really get your teeth into, wasn't it?
Yep, wrote one dandy commercial for the rhythm company. Went like this. If you're chewing in tune, you never miss the spittoon. Yes, if you're chewing in tune, you never miss the spittoon.
Look. Old-timer. If you expect to rate as a copywriter, you can't expect to write copy like that.
That's pretty good, Johnny. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says to t'other feller, he says, I see where Congress may stay in session all winter this year. Is that so, says t'other feller. Lots of work to do? Nope, says the first feller. Scared to go home. I'll see you next.
Billy Mills and the orchestra and The Lady from 29 Palms.
McGee, it's almost 2 o'clock. Are you sure they're going to deliver that this afternoon?
Deliver what? Oh, the surprise for the home. Yeah, sure. They'll deliver today. Now, you just relax, Gil.
Relax, the man says.
Yes, sir.
Heavenly days, how can I relax when I'm so excited?
Huh?
If I could turn my emotions off and on like that, I'd be doing soap operas.
What are we doing? Well, I always was one for the unexpected, Gil. You know, I'm always Now, that was unexpected. Come in.
Well, my goodness, Dr. Gamble. Oh, it's so nice to see you, Doctor.
Thank you, my dear. It's nice to see you. And good day to you, too, my boy.
Hi, body patcher. Throw that bag of suet you walked upstairs and saved $10 on into a chair and bring us up to date.
On what, Droopy?
On yourself, Doctor. What's new in the world of medicine these days?
Yeah, you up on the latest scientific developments, Doc, or don't you take the Reader's Digest?
I never read any of the pocket magazines, Sonny. My pockets are so dark it strains my eyes. By the way, Molly, you look very happy today.
Oh, I am happy, Doctor.
Why shouldn't she be happy? She's got a husband who treats her like a queen, full of thoughtful little gestures, remembers anniversaries and things like that there.
This, for instance, Doctor, is the anniversary of the first time he ever took me to a football game. And he remembered it.
That's me, just a sentimental fool.
Well, I'm glad you told me. I'll change your record when I get back to the office. I'll erase the darn and put in sentimental.
Now, I tell you, it was a great football game he took me to, Doctor. He played in it. He was the drawback or setback.
Halfback. Halfback, third string, substitute. The coach saved me for the big Thanksgiving game that year. Well, sir, it was the final quarter. Peoria versus Joliet with the score tied. The fans were going wild, yelling for a touchdown. I leaps off the bench.
Tell me some other time, Shortening Bread. I have some very important...
now you ought to hear this, Doctor. Tell him, dearie.
I will. Well, sir, I leaps off the bench and runs up to the coach. Put me in, coach, I says. He slaps me on the shoulder and says, kind of quiet like, he says, go back and sit down, fathead. And just then, Joliet makes another touchdown with a double wingback formation and a Statue of Liberty play with the left tackle playing defensive on a concealed pass to the right forward. It was crucial.
I tell you, I was so excited I started to eat my pennant and wave my hot dog.
Uh-huh.
Then the coach calls me over. All right, McGee, he says, get in there and win this football game. I throws off my raccoon coat, runs over to the cameramen, poses for a few pictures, and trots out onto the field. The crowd screamed.
But he went out anyway.
Okay, men, I says, we'll give him the old shoestring play.
That's very logical. I don't know anyone with older shoestrings than yours.
Well, sir, after the next play, I drifted over to the sidelines and made like I was tying my shoestrings. The opposition team never noticed me. The ball went into play. The captain snaps me a long pass. I leaps into the air, grabs the ball, and takes off for the goal line.
Like a bullet.
So, what happened, if anything?
I got a bad break, Doc. I was so excited I'd accidentally tied my shoestrings together. The first step I took, I went neck over elbow, and by the time I stopped bouncing, I was clear out in the parking lot. They wouldn't let me back in without a ticket, so I grabs a taxi and went home.
He was the talk of the town for 3 weeks after that, Doctor, and I must say you never heard such language.
Yes, it's always the little cusses that inspire the big cusses. I remember one time when...
That's probably for you, Doctor.
Probably. I have my office nurse phone me every hour wherever I am. Gets me out of some very dull parties. Excuse me. Hello, Dr. Gamble speaking. Who? The hospital? Oh, I'm sorry to hear it. I didn't foresee anything like that. I'll be right over. Yes, goodbye.
Bad news, Doctor?
I'm afraid so. We just lost a patient.
Oh.
Oh, my gosh, Doc, that's too bad. What happened?
He got well. But that's the breaks of the game, kids. See you later.
Isn't he a sweet old character?
He's old and he's a character, but hey, what time is it?
About 1:30. Why?
Well, that delivery I was expecting. You're surprised, you know. I was just thinking that...
Hello, Molly. Hiya, pal.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. Come on in and wish us a happy anniversary.
Anniversary? Well, congratulations. How long have you been married?
What that got to do with it?
I thought you said this was your anniversary.
Well, it is. Himself here took me to my first football game, October 7th, 1917. Isn't he wonderful? I'll bet you don't remember the first big date you ever had, Mr. Wilcox.
Oh, yes, I do. It was 1916 on Friday the 12th at 3:22 in the afternoon in Omaha.
Wow.
I remember the exact time because I had just put my wristwatch back in my pocket.
Strap busted?
No, but wristwatches were new then for men, and I didn't want Frida to think I was a sissy, even though I was the best wrestler in Benson High School.
Who said so?
Frida and the other girls. Anyway, there we were in the parlor dancing to the radio.
Now, wait a minute. They didn't have radios in 1916.
No, Frida did. Her father was rich.
Oh.
Well, anyway, it was awfully quiet in the house, and I was afraid Frida would try to kiss me. Mm-hmm. You see, she was a vamp.
A what, Junior?
A vamp. We called them vamps then.
Oh.
I was a sheik.
Oh.
Anyway, I said, where's your mother today, Frida? And she said, Mama's out scrubbing the kitchen floor. Scrubbing, I said. You mean she doesn't know about Johnson's glow coat?
Did they have glow coat in 1916?
Don't change the subject, Molly. Well, I dropped Frida like a hot potato. And don't think she wasn't. And I dashed out into the kitchen, and there was Frida's mother on her knees scrubbing the linoleum.
How horrible.
It's the last half of the ninth, folks. No scores yet, and the bases loaded. Wilcox on the mound. He's winding up, and here comes the pitch.
Well, for 15 minutes, I stood there telling Frida's mother about Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. How it's so easy to use. How you just pour a little out and spread it around, let it dry in 20 minutes or less to a brilliant protective gloss. How it shines as it dries with no rubbing or buffing. How it brings out the beauty and color of the linoleum and makes spilled things so easy to wipe up.
I bet she was really grateful, Mr. Wilcox.
Nope, she told me to mind my own business and chased me out of the house. But Frida told me later that she always used Glo-Coat after that.
Oh, then you did see Frida again.
Yes. When I was in uniform. She came to the station to see me off.
In uniform, Army or Navy, Mr. Wilcox?
Scoutmaster. I was taking a bunch of kids to camp. Well, happy anniversary, folks.
Hey, I got an idea, Molly. While we're waiting for him to deliver that little surprise, why don't we duck downtown to a movie?
Well, it seems a little extravagant, but we might as well spend our money while $1 is still worth 15 cents. What's showing at the Bijou?
That's what I want to find out. Mother Wore Tights is playing there.
Oh, all right. I'll be with you just as soon as I put on my face and get my hat.
Okay, Tootsie. Ah, there goes a good kid. And does she ever love surprises? And am I ever full of them? You'd think she'd learn after a while that none of them ever amount to much, but no, she's always Jerry. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hi, Teeny. Well, I'm glad to see you, but we were just going out. Mrs. McGee and I are going to a movie.
Oh? Well, there's a dandy one at the Princess, mister. It's Sailbad the Sinner, and it's all in ticklish color, and they say
Hey. Wait a minute. It's not Sailbad the Sinner. It's Sinbad the Sailor.
Okay. Anyway, it's a dandy picture, I bet you. I and Willie Toops went to it.
No. Willie Toops and I went to it.
When?
Huh?
When did you and Willie go to it? He said he hadn't seen it before.
I didn't go with Willie Toops. I was merely correcting your grammar. You said I and Willie Toops, and that's incorrect. It's Willie Toops and I. The first person singular takes the object in the possessive tense if the participle is part of the predicate. You understand?
Oh. No. But anyway, it was a peachy picture, I bet you.
It was, eh?
Yeah. Willie and I...
I said it was, eh?
What's what?
A good picture.
Where?
At the Princess, the one you and Willie went to.
I know it.
Well,
that's the same one you and Willie went to.
I didn't go to the picture with Willie.
You did too, I bet you.
No.
You said you and Willie went to see Sailbad the Sinner.
I didn't say any such a thing. I never saw Sailbad the Signer. And if I had, I wouldn't have gone with Willie Toops. I think he's a dreadful little pest.
Please, Mr. McGee.
Well?
You are speaking of the man I love. I and Willie are engaged.
There you go again, sis. You mean Willie and I are... No, that would be
Sure. He gave me an engagement ring, too, I bet you.
Oh,
see?
say, that's a beautiful ring, Teeny.
Sure it is, I bet you. It's pure silver.
Really? Pure silver?
Sure. He got it in a box of Cracker Jack. He said if the prize was a whistle, we'd play cops and robbers, and if it was a ring, we'd get engaged. And it was a ring, and boy, was Willie ever burned up. Sure, he wanted to play cops and robbers. Goodbye now.
Goodbye, Teeny.
The King's Men and Freedom Train.
This song is a train song. It's a song about a train. Not the Atchison Topeka, not the Chattanooga choo-choo, not the train that leaves at midnight for the state of Alabama. This song is a train song where the engineer is Uncle Sam. Here comes that freedom train. You better hurry down. Just like a Paul Revere, it's coming into your hometown. Inside that freedom train, you'll find a precious freight. Those words of liberty, the documents that made us great. You can shout your anger from a steeple. You can shoot the system full of holes. You can always question we the people. You can get your answer at the polls. That's how it's always been, and how it will remain, as long as all of us keep riding on the freedom train, riding on the freedom train.
I hear that freedom train is coming to Wistful Vista, Molly. That's something I want to see.
Oh, me too, McGee. Imagine seeing the original Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and everything.
Yeah. It's kind of easy to forget the things that made this a great country, and sort of take things for granted.
Oh, isn't the Freedom Train a wonderful name for it?
Yeah. I just hope they watch the danger signals and keep it on the right track.
Well, the crew is made up of people like you and me, dearie, so it's up to us.
That's how it's always been, and how it will remain. As long as all of us keep riding on the freedom, riding on the freedom
Oh, my, I enjoyed that picture, McGee, that crossfire. Isn't that Bob Ryan wonderful?
Oh, he's okay if you like that type. Tall, handsome, curly-haired, rugged, and built like an athlete.
Oh, he's such a fine actor, too. He had me simply scared to death.
Ah, my gosh, I could have played that role just as well myself if I had all his talent. Just because he... Oh, hey, look who's coming. It's that Williams guy.
Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, the man Dr. Gamble introduced us to in the bank.
Yeah.
I thought he was a very pleasant... good day, Mr. Williams.
What? Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McCabe?
McGee is the name, Williams. Remember? We met you in the bank with Doc Gamble the other day.
Oh, yes, McGee. Lovely day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Except that it's a little cool. Although at this time of year, I suppose we must expect a little cool weather. Except that we sometimes get quite a hot spell during our Indian summer. Pardon me for mentioning Indian summer. I didn't intend to inject a racial note into the discussion.
Well, that's quite all right, Mr. Williams. We're not Indians.
Not American Indians, anyway. I'm more of an East Indian. Spent several years in Indochina. Used to travel through the jungle barefooted buying lumber. Bought a lot of teak wood from a Chinese fellow named Chan. The natives all called me the barefoot boy with teak of Chan. Don't you get it, Williams? Cheek of Chan, teak of Chan. It's a play on words involving a pun on the word
Ain't
teak.
funny, McGee.
Oh, it ain't. My gosh, I lay awake for 2 hours last night working on that.
I rather enjoyed it myself.
Well, thanks.
I agree that a pun is sometimes the lowest form of humor, but on the other hand, a clever play on words I find rather amusing.
Yeah?
In other terms, while I detest puns, I sometimes like them very much.
Yes, I see. You live in Wistful Vista, Mr. Williams?
Yes, I do, Mrs. McGee. That is, I say I do, although to be strictly truthful, I live just outside of town. I suppose paying taxes here makes me a resident, but on the other hand, I consider myself, by reason of being a suburbanite, not a city dweller.
You sure hate to commit yourself, don't you, Si? You in business here?
Well, you might say I am, and again, I'd hardly call it being in business.
I see.
I suppose I might be called a professional man, although some people might find technical objections to the term. I work for the government, in a way.
Oh.
But more strictly speaking, I am a local employee.
Doing what, may we ask?
Oh, certainly. I am a meteorologist, otherwise known as the weatherman.
Oh.
Well, nice to have seen you again. Good day. Probably.
So he's the weatherman. No wonder he won't give you a positive statement. I suppose you can't help.
Oh, look, McGee, we're almost home. Why don't you tell me what my surprise is? Now, you know I've been very patient
And
about
spoil
it.
the whole build-up? Nothing doing, Snooky. Besides, it isn't too exciting. Just a little something I planned on doing for a long time. Oh, hey, there's Wally Wimple. Hi, Wimple, man.
Hello there, Mr. Wimple.
Hello, folks. Been out for a stroll?
Been to a movie to kill time, Wimp. I cooked up a little surprise for my wife, and we didn't want to stick around home.
Well, now, isn't that a coincidence? I've cooked up a little surprise for Sweetie Face, too.
Yeah?
That's my big old wife, you know.
Yes, we know.
What you got planned, Wimp? Something romantic?
Well, I'd hardly say that, Mr. McGee. You see, this is Sweetie Face's birthday, so I wrote a little poem for her.
Oh.
I'm going downtown now and have it printed.
Well, isn't that sweet? I'd forgotten you were a poet, Mr. Wimple. How does the poem go?
Yes, recite it, Wimp.
All righty. It goes to Sweetie Face on her birthday. You're 38 today, my dear, and in the very prime of life. As beautiful to me right now
as when you first became my wife.
How darling.
That isn't all, Mrs. McGee. It goes on. Like this. I thought of buying you champagne, but gave that up because I'd hate to spend an evening running round with a great big loaded 38.
Great little couple, him and Sweetie Face. Well, come on, kiddo. Let's just go this way.
Well, why, McGee? Why must we go around through the alley?
Well, the delivery men may be in the driveway, and I don't want you to see the surprise till it's all set.
Yes,
see?
but I don't know why.
Look. There's a delivery truck in the driveway right now. My gosh, I timed this just about perfect. Come on, baby.
But, dearie, that's a coal truck. That wouldn't be what... McGee, what on earth are you...
That's the surprise, kiddo. Enough coal to last all winter. And I remembered to order it before we even needed it. Pretty thoughtful, eh? Remember how I forgot to order coal last year and we almost froze to death?
Yeah, but McGee, now, I kept...
How much more, Joe?
That's the last of it, Mr. McGee. 3 truckloads. Ought to last you all winter.
Great. Much obliged, Joe. Well, how's about it, Molly? Pretty swell idea, huh?
Yes, but I... Well, if I'd only known what you... Oh, dear.
Hey, now, you're not disappointed, are you? Gee whiz, I said it wasn't much, but we needed it.
No, dearie, I'm not disappointed about that. It's only that, well, I had a little surprise for you, too, and now I can't show it to you.
You did? You can't? Why not? What was it?
Well, I know how you hate to shovel coal and fire the furnace, so while you were fishing last week, I had a man come and change the furnace over to an oil burner.
You did?
I'll show it to you next spring. It's buried under the coal now.
Fibber and Molly return in just a moment. Tell me, have you noticed that the Johnson's Glow Coat you've been buying lately gives your kitchen linoleum an unusually bright shine? Well, now, you're not just imagining things. Fact is, the Glow Coat on your dealer's shelf today gives you nearly twice as much shine as before. And that means nearly twice the shine for all linoleum and other floors in your home. You'll say you've never seen your kitchen floor so bright. Its color's so fresh and gay. Of course, Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat is as easy as ever to use. Still no rubbing or buffing. And you still get that wonderful wax protection. Suppose you do happen to spill something on that wonderfully bright Glow Coat shine. Never mind, just wipe it with a damp cloth and your floor's as clean and nice as before. Yes, Glow Coat saves you hours of work. And it saves you money because it actually makes linoleum last years longer. Ask your dealer for brighter than ever Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat to bring out the beauty of the home.
Look on the bright side, shine up the right side, bring out the beauty of the home.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's nice to be back on NBC for Johnson's Wax for another season, and we hope you all enjoyed Fred Waring's wonderful music this summer.
We certainly did. You know, Fred's on a different night now, McGee, with a new show. Monday nights for General Electric.
General Electric, eh? Well, I'll tune that in. I like to keep up with all the current programs. Didn't you hear me, Molly? I says I like to
Yeah, I heard you, dearie. I'm afraid I'm not the only one.
Oh, you mean they... Oh, good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Products for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
NBC, the National Broadcasting Company. So as I was saying, when Andrew Jackson won the bank war of the 1830s, he shut down the second bank of the United States. So we just made a third bank of the United States, since it was up for the taking. Now, it doesn't actually have any currency, but...
Willie.
Go
I
ahead.
appreciate this illustrious history on our country's banking system.
Oh.
However, I'm a little bit curious, back when you said that Jake and I were the members of the football team.
Yeah, are we actually going to be playing football games, or is this also only like in theory? Is this football team as real as the classes that are being held at your college?
Well, it's what we call fictional football, not to be confused with fantasy football, TM. No, this is fictional football. So y'all don't even have to get up and play. You just sort of imagine that you play and we make up the numbers.
And what exactly does this look like is really, I guess, what I'm wondering here.
Well, to boil it down, we've got a fictional P.O. box in the fictional country of New Zealand. Now, what you need to do is mail your acceptance of being team members to this fake P.O. box in this fake country that doesn't really exist. And then what you need to do next is...
Okay, well, look, I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, are we actually going to be playing against an actual, like, team? Do we have to... I'm just really lost right now, but Willie,
absolutely not. See, the liability insurance of putting you out there on an actual field without uniforms or, protective equipment is it's astronomical. It's way too much.
How exactly are you going to make money off of this? I don't even...
That part's still in the works. You don't need to worry about that. We'll get that worked out later. We just got to get you on the field, get you on the green.
Let's just say I don't have team spirit right now. Next up in the show, we have an episode of Mail Call. McLean, you want to introduce this?
Yes, this is Mail Call for the date January 31st, 1945. And Mail Call was a pretty interesting show itself. It was aimed at entertaining the troops, especially during World War II. And so they would often have a mix of guest stars, singers, to provide various entertainment throughout the show. And the highlight of this episode happens to be Danny Thomas playing Jerry Dingle in a sketch focusing on football.
Well, football? Say, that's the theme of today's show.
Yeah, coincidence, isn't it, Willie?
And just like in a previous episode of Yesterday Today, when we played the Lux Radio Theater's It Happened Tomorrow, we mentioned that we did our own version of that on our radio program. And just as we did with the sketch of Danny Thomas's, We're Strong for Toledo. Anyway, this is Mail Call for January 31st, 1945.
Mail Call from the United States of America. Stand by, Americans. Here's Mail Call. One big package of words and music and laughter delivered to you by the stars from whom you want to hear in answer to the request you send to Armed Forces Radio, Los Angeles, USA. And standing at the microphone now to act as your mistress of ceremonies in answer to all your many requests from overseas is one of MGM's brightest young stars, the sensational little actress you enjoyed so much in Two Girls and a Sailor. Here she is, a very cute face with a voice to match, June Allison.
Oh, Disneyland, lots of land under starry skies of all. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in. Just turn me loose. Let me saddle my old cattle underneath the western sky. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences. Gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can look at harbors and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west of Memphis. Gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can't look at harbors and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Thank you, fellas. Tonight, we're happy to bring a brand new signature to your mail call letter. And who could fit into a mail call better than a postman? Especially if the postman happens to be a great new comedian who plays the part of Jerry Dingle on the Fanny Bryce Show, Danny Thomas.
And now let's pick up our peripatetic postman, Jerry Dingle, as he breezily reports for duty to the head coach of Old Sycamore Prep.
Jerry, I appreciate your answering my call. I can use you today.
Oh, gee, Coach Wingbuck, anything I can do to help out the old team. You know me. Look at my eyes, clear as a bell. Look at my legs, muscles like iron. And look at my...
Whoa, hold on. It isn't your legs I'm interested in. It's your arms.
My arms? You mean you're going to let me carry the ball?
No, Jerry. I want you to carry the pail.
The pail?
Yes. Our regular water boy is sick, and I thought you could take his place today.
Well, gee, Coach, water boy. I mean, I've asked a lot of my friends to the game. What if they see me?
Well, there's plenty of water, Jerry. Give him a drink.
I won't do it, that's all. I won't do it, I tell you. I won't do it. I don't want to be water boy.
Stop it, Jerry. You're acting like a baby. You want to carry the water, or don't you? Well, that's the spirit. 2 o'clock sharp. Now run along. I got a lot of plays to work out.
Big shot coach. Goes to college for 4 years to learn how to blow a whistle. What's so tough about blowing a whistle? Any moron can do it. I've been blowing one for years. Big man. When he played football for Sycamore, he was the lemon in their T formation. He should have been a string changer on a yo-yo team. What a show-off. I could be a better coach than him any time. Boy, I can just picture myself in the locker room, inspiring the team between halves. What a coach I'd be. Sure, why not? It's a free country. I'm a citizen.
Officer Coach Dingle. No, I'm sorry. Mr. Dingle doesn't coach football teams. He's a second half bucker-upper. That's right. He gives pep talks in locker rooms between halves. Thank you.
Oh, hello, Miss Gibney. Any messages?
Harvard University called.
Sorry, Miss Gibney. Can't make it.
How about Princeton?
Can't make it.
Oh, yes. The Dean of Vassar called.
Vassar? That I'll make. My old alma mater.
Your alma mater?
Yeah.
Vassar's a girls' school.
I know. My father sent me there. He wanted me to have all the things Mother didn't have.
Dingle, I need your help. Do you really get results with those pep talks?
No, I just look at some of my clients. Notre Dame, Purdue, Ohio State, Michigan.
How's Michigan doing?
I don't know. They're probably still counting the votes. Your face looks familiar.
That's right. I'm Coach Wingbuck of Sycamore Prep.
Wingbuck, eh? I thought you might come crawling around to me one of these days. What's your problem?
Oh, you've got to help the old team out, Dingle. It's the end of the first half, and we're a little behind.
What's the score?
87-0.
This is a case for Coach Dingle. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Grab that water pail. All right, men, gather around while I check the lineup. Paraplutchikov.
Present, sir.
Wojciech
Present, sir.
Connie Slavnitsky.
Present, sir.
Jones.
Excuse me, please. Do not speak English.
All right. Men, I want you all to rise now, place your helmets over your hearts, and sing with me that great alma mater song, We're Strong for Toledo.
Toledo?
Yeah.
High school is Sycamore Prep.
I know, but Toledo has a better song. Listen, I'll sing it for you myself. We're strong for Toledo. Toledo. One of you is saying bum. Excuse me. The girls are the fairest, and the boys are the squarest of any old town that I know.
Boy, is that corny.
I heard that remark. Corny, is it? Well, my friend, let me ask you this. What is corn and who are we to say that it is? You know, if you're not a little bit corny, there's something the matter with you. Why, when you walk down the street of a town like Toledo, or better still, Deerfield, Michigan, 20 miles northwest of, 165 citizens strong. That's the town. The town where I was born. Brought into the world by a veterinarian, in case you're interested. I really was. I'll never forget, my ma told me when the old vet gave me that first slap, he said, there's going to be a lucky colt. Well, when you walk down the street of a town like that, coming in the opposite direction is a man commonly referred to by the alleged intelligentsia as a yokel, a corny guy. He doesn't know you from a box of soybeans, but he smiles. Howdy, neighbor. Think the rain will hurt the rhubarb? So it's not such a brilliant remark. Maybe it isn't even going to rain. I'll lay you 10-7 you're not growing rhubarb. But at least he smiled and he said something. Oh, I'll never forget Deerfield. There were 17 of us living under one roof. A ramshackle old farmhouse. 17 humans. One bathtub. I remember the day it came with a set of directions. And every Saturday night, while we were working out in the field, as soon as the hot water was ready, Ma used to ring the bell, and we made a mad dash right through the field to get there. The tank held enough water for only 16 baths. Poor Uncle Bill. He was always a 17. And no matter how fast he ran, 16 of us ran faster. I'll never forget one Saturday night, in the middle of one of his best runs. He was running in earnest that night. He meant to get there. But unfortunately, the odds were against him. And so was the zodiac. There were no stars. It was pitch dark. You couldn't see a darn thing, and he ran right back into the clothesline. He never had a chance. Well, sir, Uncle Bill lay there, tangled up in that clothesline for 3 weeks. But he wasn't lonesome. Every time one of us walked by him, we smiled. Howdy, Uncle Bill. Think the rain hurt the rhubarb? And then Uncle Bill passed away at the ripe old age of 104. And we laid him to rest in his favorite spot, the bathtub. And we put the bathtub in the rhubarb patch. And now when we pass there, we say, howdy, rhubarb, you think the rain will hurt Uncle Bill? So you see, boys, that's why you mustn't be ashamed to sing. We're strong for Toledo. That's the place where the Buckeyes grow. In any old weather, we'll all stick together in Chico. Adieu.
Thank you, Danny Thomas. Fellas and gals, in radio it's just a hop, skip, and a short bronco ride from Grand Opera to a gang of singing cowboys. These boys can really give out with a sagebrush serenade. Here they are, the great new Western group with Fireball Mail, the riders of the Purple Sage.
Look at her roll. There she goes, eating that coal. Watch her fly, look at her sail. Let her bye, Fireball Mail. Watch her swerve, look at her sway. Get that curve out of the way. Like a freight, turn the rail. Then she's late, Fireball Mail. Engineer, making a time. Tracks her clear, look at her climb. Like a hound, wagging his tail. Now it's bound, Fireball Mail. Here she comes, look at her roll. There she goes, eating that coal. Watch her fly, look at her sail. Let her bye, Fireball Mail, Fireball Mail.
Step back to that damn microphone, partners. We ain't letting you off that easy.
Well, anything you say, gal. Now, if y'all will just step to one side while we brand this hunk of prairie prattle called Tumbling Tumbleweed.
Well, Root, I beg your pardon. I mean, hot diggity.
See them tumbling down, letting them up to the ground. Lonely but free I'll be found, drifting along with a tumbling tumbleweed. Cares of the past are behind. Nowhere to go but I'll find just where the trail will wind. Drifting along with a tumbling tumbleweed. I know when night has gone that a new world's born at dawn. I'll keep rolling along. Deep in my heart is a song. Here on the range I belong.
Thank you, boys. And now I'd like to answer a few special letters on this mail call. According to your request to Armed Forces Radio Service, a number you kind of like is A Love Like Ours. I'd like to do it for you now. And dedicate it to Seaman Ben Byers, Robert Miners, and Bobby Seidman, Fleet Post Office, San Francisco, Corporal Jack Markfield, and Brother Sergeant Al, and all the rest of you men who wrote those wonderful letters. Here's A love like ours is something very precious. Don't abuse it or you will be sorry. It ain't wise to jeopardize a love like ours, a love like ours. Should never be manhandled. Treat it gently as you would a flower. It ain't sound to kick around a love like ours. Hold tight onto it Don't let a foolish swim in danger, sweet romance. Don't take a chance. You'll only rue it when you're out on a limb. A hungry soul that's crying for a crumb. Life's just a vacuum, a love like ours is not a passing fancy. It ain't something to play fast and loose with. Take my tip, don't slide or slip. You will make a brave mistake. Why tempt fate and terminate a love like ours? Thank you. Well, this certainly seems to be a gala night for bright new events in radio. This last season, two of your favorites hit the airwaves with a swell show of their own. Of course, I'm referring to the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, with Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard.
Folks, there's usually something going on at the Nelson household. So let's look in at their house on Rogers Road and see what's happening on this particular morning. At the moment, Ozzie and Harriet are browsing through the morning paper.
Hey, there's quite a bit happening in the world this morning.
Oh, there certainly is. And look at this unusual item. A dog by the name of Dice Game had 8 puppies.
A dog named Dice Game had 8 puppies. What's so unusual about that?
She did it the hard way, 2 floors.
Does it really say that in the paper?
Yeah, and look what else I found, Harriet. Hey, just listen to this ad. Beautiful 8-room house for rent, 2 baths, completely furnished, $35 a month.
Where do you see that?
Right over here in this column, the one called 25 Years Ago Today.
Well, it has to be something like that. Housing conditions today are simply terrible.
Yeah, it's really awful. All those people without any rooms.
Gosh, I wonder what... Hey, I have an idea. You know our spare room?
You mean that room your mother uses when she drops in and spends 3 days with us?
3 days?
Yeah, Sunday, Monday, and always. Just joking, you know, just joking.
I'll bet you are. Listen, but don't you think we ought to offer that room to someone who really needs it?
Hey, that's a wonderful idea. And I can't think of anyone who needs it more than a serviceman.
Oh, Ozzie, that's super. All we have to do is list our room with the USO.
Say, Harriet, what do you think we ought to ask for, a sailor or a soldier?
Well, gee, I don't know, Ozzie. After all, what's the difference between a soldier and a sailor?
About 18 buttons.
Well, if we're going to have somebody extra in the house, I think we ought to tell Gloria about it. You know, it's going to make more work for her.
I don't think she'll mind, but maybe you ought to see how she feels about it.
Oh, Gloria! Gloria!
Did you call me, Mrs. Nelson?
Yes, I did, Gloria. You know how tough it is to get apartments these days, don't you?
Oh, yes, it's a terrible problem. Do you know my cousin and her family are paying $60 a month for 2 rooms with an adjoining?
An adjoining what?
I don't know. They haven't been able to get the door open yet.
Well, Gloria, Mr. Nelson and I have been thinking of letting someone use our spare room. And, well, we just wanted to make sure it'd be all right with you.
Oh, I don't mind. I'm always worked hard. I come from a very large family, you know, and I had to support them.
You mean you had to support your father, too?
Well, only on Saturday night.
No, Gloria, Mrs. Nelson means didn't your father work?
Oh, yes, my father worked. We used to keep it pretty quiet, but confidentially, my father was a bartender.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a bartender.
I know, but you see, my father invented a new drink, the San Fernando Valley cocktail.
The San Fernando Valley cocktail?
Yeah. 1 drink and you settle down and never more roam.
If it's all right with you, Gloria, we're going to let a serviceman use the room.
Oh, that'll be nice. You know, my boyfriend's a serviceman.
Your boyfriend's a serviceman?
Oh, yes. In Roosevelt's company.
Oh, you mean one of Jimmy Roosevelt's Marine Raiders?
No, one of Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders.
Well, then it's all settled. We just wanted to let you know that there may be a soldier or a sailor here very soon.
Well, thanks for telling me. I'll go put some lipstick on.
I say soldier or sailor because I don't know which it'll be.
Well, Mrs. Nelson's sailors are pretty fresh. I hope it's a sailor.
Say, Gloria, do you think maybe you ought to run along now and straighten out the room?
Oh, yes. And, Mr. Nelson, I just thought of something. Wouldn't it be odd if you happened to get my brother?
Oh, is he in the service?
No, that's why it'd be so odd.
Well, Gloria, Mr. Nelson and I are going downtown now, and we'll register with USO. If they should phone, then you'll know what it's all about.
Yeah, that's where we're going to get this sailor or soldier.
Well, my goodness, why go to all the trouble of getting him that way?
Well, do you know an easier way?
Well, sure, just stand on the corner and whistle.
Sergeant Mulligan, I think I have just the place for you to spend your furlough. I'm calling the party now.
Hello, Nelson residence.
Hello, this is the USO calling.
The who?
The USO.
How do you spell it?
USO.
Oh, it's just like you pronounce it, isn't it?
Yes. Will you please tell Mrs. Nelson that I'm sending out a Marine this evening?
How many?
One, that's all Mrs. Nelson asked for.
Yes, I know. I just thought I could do a little recruiting on my own.
Well, please tell Mrs. Nelson that the Marine, Sergeant Mulligan, will be there about 8 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. I'll give her the message.
You'll be sure now.
Oh, certainly. I always tell them anything anybody says.
Well, that's good.
Sometimes they hate me for it. Now, goodbye, USO.
Yes. Goodbye, and thank you very much. There you are, Sergeant Mulligan. It's all arranged. You can spend your furlough in a lovely private home. I'm sure it'll be very comfortable.
Oh, thank you very much. Sure will be nice to live in a home again for a while. Even if I am a Marine, I guess a girl is a girl.
Oh, Ozzy, did Gloria tell you the lady from the USO phoned while we were out?
Oh, is that so?
Mm-hmm. A Marine is coming over. Sergeant Mulligan. He'll be here about 8 o'clock. I guess we better hurry and get this room fixed up.
Sergeant Mulligan of the Marines. Probably built like a big bruiser.
Well, I don't know about that, but we want to make everything as comfortable as possible for the sergeant.
You know, Harriet, I read something about Barrel Chest Mulligan, the wrestler, joining the Marines. Maybe this is the same Mulligan.
Oh, really?
Gee, we could have a lot of fun wrestling around the room together.
Oh, Ozzy, you're liable to get hurt.
Oh, don't worry about me. Just wait till I try some of my new grips on the sergeant.
Well, who can tell? You're liable to become great pals.
Sure, I wouldn't be surprised if I spent most of my time right in this room here.
Well, it'll be a nice change for you anyway.
What are you doing there, dear?
Oh, I was just looking in the bureau drawer. I better put an extra pair of pajamas in here.
What for? Marines don't wear pajamas.
Well, I don't think they wear nightgowns with lace on them.
That's all I'd have to see, Sergeant Mulligan walking around in a nightgown.
Well, Marines must sleep in something.
Only their underwear. They like to show off their tattooing. Harriet, didn't the laundry come back yet?
What are you looking for?
Some clean shorts. If it's a nice day tomorrow, Mulligan and I might sit out in the yard and take a sunbath. We don't happen to have any cigarettes in the house, do we?
No, but I'm putting one of your pipes and some cigars for the bed here.
Oh, that's good. That's probably Sergeant Mulligan now.
Well, thank goodness the room's all in order. Let's go let him in.
Good evening. I'm Sergeant Mulligan of the Marines.
Why, suddenly you're a girl.
Oh, no, I've been one for years.
No, you see, what he means is that, well, we thought that...
You see, we were expecting a boy.
So were my parents, but then I came along. Oh, I guess I can see what's the trouble, though. They didn't tell you at the USO, and you thought the Marine Sergeant was going to be a man.
Well, yes, and this is quite a shock.
I'll say we're expecting a hard-boiled egg, and we got one that's powdered.
Oh, but naturally, you're more than welcome, Sergeant Mulligan. Come on in. Do I hear somebody else at the door?
Oh, I hope you won't think it an imposition, Mrs. Nelson, but I brought along a few of my buddies. Do you think we'll take up too much room?
Oh, nonsense. The more the merrier. Come on in, girls. You're just in time for dinner. I'll tell you what we'll do. First, we'll have a nice home-cooked dinner, and then Ozzie will take us all dancing at the Palladium. What's the matter, Ozzie? What are you so puzzled about?
Well, I've gotten used to girl cab drivers, girl policemen, and even girl telegraph boys. But I never thought I'd see the day when I'd be dancing cheek to cheek with a Marine. Oh, come on, girls.
All right, that was Mail Call, featuring the little sketch of We're Strong for Toledo with Danny Thomas. And as we mentioned, we did do a version of this for our own radio show a while back. And just in case you were curious, I thought it'd be fun to play our version of that. It's only a few minutes long, so hope you like it.
Let's look in at college student Jerry Dingle as he breezily reports for duty to the head coach of Old Sycamore Prep.
Jerry, I appreciate you answering my call. I can use you today.
Well, gee, Coach Ringbuck, anything I can do to help the old team? Why, you know me. Look at my eyes, clear as a bell. Look at my legs, muscles like iron.
It isn't your legs I'm interested in. It's your arm.
My arm? You mean you're gonna let me carry the ball?
No, Jerry, I want you to carry the pail.
The pail?
Yes, our regular water boy is sick, and I thought you could take his place for today.
Well, gee, Coach. Water boy, I've asked a lot of my friends to the game. What if they see me?
Well, there's plenty of water, Jerry. Give him a drink.
I won't do it, that's all. I won't do it, I tell you. I don't want to be water boy.
Stop it, Jerry. You're acting like a baby. Do you want to carry the water or don't you?
Well...
That's the spirit. 2 o'clock sharp. Now run along. I got a lot of plays to work out.
Huh. Big shot, Coach. Goes to college for 4 years to learn how to blow a whistle. What's so tough about blowing a whistle? Any moron could do it. I've been blowing one for years. Big man. When he played football for Sycamore, he was the limit in their T formation. He couldn't have been the string changer on a yo-yo team. What a show-off. I could be a better coach than him any time. Boy, I can just picture myself in the locker room, inspiring the team between halves. What a coach I'd be. Sure, why not? It's a free country. I'm a citizen.
Office of Coach Dingle. No, I'm sorry. Mr. Dingle doesn't coach football teams. He's a second-half bucker-upper. That's right. He gives pep talks in locker rooms between halves. Thank you.
Oh, hello, Miss Gibney. Any messages?
Harvard University called.
Sorry, Miss Gibney, can't make it.
How about Princeton?
Can't make it.
Oh, yes, the Dean of Vassar called.
Vassar? Why, that I'll make. My old alma mater.
Your alma mater?
Yeah.
But Vassar's a girls' school.
I know. My father sent me there. He wanted me to have all the things Mother didn't have.
Coach Dingle, I need your help. Do you really get results with those pep talks?
Why, sure. Just look at some of my clients. Notre Dame, Purdue, Ohio State, Michigan.
Oh, how's Michigan doing?
I don't know, but they're probably still counting the votes. I'll say, your face looks familiar.
That's right, I'm Coach Wingbuck of Sycamore Prep.
Wingbuck, eh? I thought you might come crawling around to me one of these days. What's your problem?
You gotta help the old team out, Dingle. It's the end of the first half and we're, a little behind.
What's the score?
87-0.
This is a case for Coach Dingle. Let's go. Oh yeah, grab that water pail. All right, men, gather around while I check the lineup. Parabolishnikov.
Present, sir.
Washkinowskowitz.
Present, sir.
Ronnie Schlagniski.
Present, sir.
Jones. Jones?
Excuse me, sir. Please, I don't speak English.
Well, all right. Men, I want you all to rise now, place your helmets over your hearts, and sing with me that great alma mater song, We're Strong for Toledo.
Toledo?
Yeah.
Our school is Sycamore Prep.
I know, but Toledo has a better song. Listen, I'll sing it for you myself. We're strong for Toledo.
Bum.
Toledo.
Bum.
One of you is saying bum.
One of us?
Excuse me. The girls are the fairest, and the boys are the squarest of any old town that I know.
Boy, is that corny.
I heard that remark. Corny, is it? Well, my friends, let me ask you this. What is corn, and who are we to say that it is? You know, if you're not a little bit corny, there's something the matter with you. Why, when you walk down the streets of a town like Toledo, or better still, Deerfield, Michigan, 20 miles northwest of, 165 citizens strong, that's the town, a town where I was born. Brought into the world by a veterinarian, in case you're interested. I really was. I'll never forget. My ma told me, when the old vet gave me that first slap, he said, "There's gonna be a lucky colt." Oh, when you walk down the street of a town like that, coming in the opposite direction is a man commonly referred to by the alleged intelligentsia as a yokel. A corny guy. Why, he doesn't even know you from a box of soybeans, but he smiles. "Howdy, neighbor. Think the rain will hurt the rhubarb?" So it's not such a brilliant remark. Maybe it isn't even going to rain. Well, I'll lay you 10-7 you're not growing rhubarb, but at least he smiled. And he said something. No, I'll never forget Deerfield. There were 17 of us living under one roof. A ramshackle old farmhouse, 17 humans. One bathtub. I remember the day it came with a set of directions. And every Saturday night, while we were working out in the fields, as soon as the hot water was ready, Mom used to ring the bell, and we all made a mad dash right through the fields to get there. The tank only held enough water for 16 baths. Poor Uncle Bill. He was always the 17th. And no matter how fast he ran, 16 of us always ran faster. I'll never forget one Saturday night, in the middle of one of his best runs. Oh, he was running in earnest that night. He meant to get there. But unfortunately, the odds were against him, and so was the zodiac. So when there weren't enough stars, he couldn't see a thing. When the stars came out, he ran smack into a clothesline. He never had a chance. Well, sir, Uncle Bill lay there, tangled up in that clothesline for 3 weeks. But he wasn't lonesome. Why, every time one of us walked by him, we smiled. "Howdy, Uncle Bill. Think the rain will hurt the rhubarb?" And then, Uncle Bill passed away at the ripe old age of 104. And we laid him to rest in his favorite spot, the bathtub. And we put the bathtub in the rhubarb patch, and now when we pass by there, we say, "Howdy, rhubarb. Think the rain will hurt Uncle Bill?" So you see, boys, that's why you mustn't be ashamed to sing. We're strong for Toledo.
Bum.
That's the place where the Buckeyes grow.
Bum.
In any old weather, we'll all stick together. In Toledo, oh, yo.
All right, that was our little version of "We're Strong for Toledo." And William, what were you were talking to us about something while we were listening to that? What was it?
Well, something to keep in mind is that the third bank of the United States, which y'all took loans from, doesn't actually have any money of its own.
Oh.
What it does is apply for loans from other banks on behalf of the people applying for loans from it. So you don't technically owe anything
Willie,
to the third bank of the United States. See?
Willie, just out of curiosity, because I think this would make fascinating reading, could I perhaps get a copy of your rap sheet?
Oh, it's, well, I have to pay quite a bit to get that thing printed down at the local library. It's pretty long. And they charge you like $0.25 for every piece of paper down there.
I'll put that cost.
If I could get my own copy of that too, I would appreciate that too.
Well, I thought about getting it tattooed to my back as a sign of my rebelliousness of these, so-called United States and these so-called laws, but I ain't got enough back skin.
I can imagine so.
Well, something else I wanted you fellas to know about this football team, which, by the way, exists. Pseudo, depending on your definition of the term.
Theoretical football team, yeah.
Yeah, theoretical. Well, it has a really fantastic mascot called the Artist. That's right. See, I figured the Artist is really great because maybe I can attract some artsy-fartsy East Coast types with their East Coast money to join or sponsor the team.
So we'll be the SCAM Artists.
Well, it's a little bulky if you say it like that.
You know what that sounds like?
Well, don't worry about what it sounds like. Just worry about the money.
It sounds like... Okay.
Yeah, don't think about it. Don't think about it. What are you, some kind of professor or something? Huh? Paid to consider academia? Profess things to people?
I wouldn't want to take Sydney's position. No, of course not.
Technically, I'm a PhD now.
Shut up, Sydney. Listen here, professors are really just paid propagandists. Paid by those who want you to believe that the government isn't creating tsunamis with an elephant-powered tsunami generator out there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And that's why we took over all those islands in World War II.
Okay,
we weren't island hopping, we were elephant hopping, and it's the truth.
First of all, I have no idea what the heck you just said to me.
Don't explain it. Please don't explain it.
Yeah, I got introduced the last couple shows here. It's a 2-part episode of Jack Benny entitled Murder on the Gridiron from 1939. Jack Benny would do sort of in the early years of his show, he'd do a football-themed show every fall, and I always liked that. So here it is, Murder on the Gridiron.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Down in the Alley and Over the Fence. Have you ever noticed how a fine chef will dress up his dishes with a little fancy touch here and there? Well, that isn't wasted effort by a long shot, for a delicious-tasting dish should look delicious, too, in order to whet your appetite. And believe me, that's where Jell-O really rates. For Jell-O looks so tempting, it makes you hungry just to see it. All 6 glowing colors lend a striking note of charm to any meal. There's rose-pink raspberry and deep crimson strawberry, bright red cherry and vivid orange, clear golden lemon and sea green lime. All 6 shimmering with tempting beauty, and all 6 crammed with extra rich flavor. A flavor as refreshing as the juicy, ripe fruit itself. A flavor that always says more. And so as soon as you can, let's say tomorrow, ask your grocer for Jell-O, America's favorite gelatin dessert. Look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O, and Jell-O spells a treat. That was Down in the Alley and Over the Fence, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you a man who officially opened the Christmas season last week by leading the Santa Claus Lane Parade down Hollywood Boulevard, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking, and Don, I'm glad you brought that up. That procession was really a spectacle. Wallace Beery was in it, Buck Jones, Tom Mix, Gene Autry, Jack Benny. I never saw so many bow legs in one parade. It was really thrilling, wasn't it, Don?
So I understand, Jack. I didn't see the parade. I just read about it in the paper.
Oh, you didn't get to see it?
No.
Oh. Well, Don, you should have been there. Now, I don't want to compare myself with Tom Mix or Gene Autry, but they tell me I look simply marvelous on that big white stallion. One of the finest horses I've ever ridden.
Well, Jack, weren't you nervous riding a strange horse for the first time?
Oh, no, Don. You see, when I handle a new mount, You say you didn't see the parade, Don?
No.
Oh. Well, perhaps I shouldn't say this, but when I got in that saddle, there wasn't a doubt as to who was the master. I tell you, Don, I gave the crowd a real thrill.
Well, Jack, from my experience with horses, I've found that crowds generally excite them, particularly when they're high-strung. Was yours a spirited animal?
Spirited? Don, if you had witnessed the parade, which you didn't, did you?
No.
Oh. Well, if you had seen the parade, you would have been proud of me. Yes, sir.
I'm sure I would have, Jack. I didn't know you were such a skillful horseman. Do you play polo, too?
Polo? Oh, I play at it, Don. I wouldn't exactly class myself among the first 10, but I swing that old mallet for many a goal.
Is that so?
Yes, sir. Now, you take that game last week at the Uplifters Field. Boy, you didn't see that game, did you, Don?
Yes, I was there, Jack.
Oh, well. Well, it was a great game. I saw it, too. But speaking of horses, Don, even when I was a kid, Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Are you on the same old subject, Jack?
I was just telling Don about the Christmas parade I led the other night. Did you see it?
I sure did.
Oh. Well, Don, I hope everybody gets here early tonight. We've got an important play to do, and
Did you see it, Don?
Mary, let's not bore Don with any more talk about the parade. I told him all about it.
Did you tell him you were riding a stuffed horse?
Now, Mary.
A stuffed horse? Now, wait a minute, Jack. You mean to say that horse you rode in the parade wasn't a real one?
Oh, Don, don't pay any attention to Mary. That horse wasn't any more stuffed than I am.
Then why was he on a wooden platform with wheels on it?
Well...
And why did the other horses ignore him?
Look, Mary.
And why didn't his head move up and down during the whole parade?
Because we made a deal. I was to take the bow. You want to know something, Mary? That horse won a gold cup for jumping.
Well, he can't even twitch now.
No use arguing with you. Ask Andy Devine about that horse, Don. He was in the parade.
Oh, Don, I almost forgot to tell you. The funniest thing happened.
What was it, Mary?
Oh, never mind.
Right in the middle of the parade, the tail fell off the horse.
Oh.
Jack thought it was his toupee and nearly fainted.
Mary, stop dreaming it up. We got enough other things to do tonight besides rehashing a parade. Now, let's forget it. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Jackson. What's cooking?
What's what?
What's cooking? What's swinging on the gate, Bub?
What's swinging on the gate?
Yeah, what's with the gab? What's buzzing?
Don't go away, folks. I'll get to the bottom of this right now. Phil, do you mean what were we talking about when you came in?
That's it. What's the chatter adding up to?
Well, look, Phil, I don't like to hold you down or anything, but we have a pretty intelligent listening audience. I wish you wouldn't throw them off the beam. Can't you come in sometime and simply say, hello, Jack, what's going on?
Sure I could, but it ain't me. It don't fit my character.
You and your character. With your character, Phil, you should be wearing button shoes. With cloth tops. And a straw hat with a string on it.
And a jazz bow tie. I got the whole outfit.
Don't ever wear that jazz bow tie around here or I'll take your chicken inspector badge away from you. Jazz bow tie.
Say, Phil, did you see Jack in the parade the other night?
What parade?
Now, look, Mary.
Come on, what about the parade? What happened?
Well, according to Mary, Jack was riding a stuffed horse.
Don, who are you going to listen to, your boss or Miss Livingston? And for last time, Mary, that horse was not stuffed.
Then why did his stomach light up and say, go to Jean's for chili and beans?
All right, Mary, all right. Let me ask you something. If that wasn't a real horse, why did I fall off?
Your safety belt broke.
I wasn't wearing a belt.
That's rich. Buck Benny falls off a stuffed horse.
You should talk, Harris. I wish I had $1 for every time you fell off the bandstand at the Wilshire Bowl. Would I be in the dough?
Can I help it if I faint?
Phil, when people faint, you throw water on them. That would kill you. You know, I'd like to start a conversation just once where I didn't get the words.
But, Jack, you bring it all on yourself. Why do you exaggerate so much? Why, you even told me you played polo.
I did not. I said I played at polo. I'm out there all the time. Of course, I'm not as good as Spencer Tracy.
That goes for stage, screen, polo, ping pong, and I haven't even turned the page yet.
Well, that's the trouble with Hollywood. A guy wins the Academy Award a couple of times, right away he's better than I am. But that's life, I guess.
Oh, Jack, here comes Dennis, and his mother's with him.
Oh, yeah, she must be feeling better. Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Who's cooking?
Who's cooking?
Yeah, what gives out what the gives in?
Oh, fine. Mrs. Day, are you going to stand there and let your child talk like Phil Harris?
Why not? The kid's jiving.
Well, it's all right with you. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh, Mrs. Day, Dennis told me last week that my Thanksgiving dinner upset you a little.
Yes, but I'm feeling much better now.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, but it really couldn't have been the food. You see, nobody else got sick.
Nobody else got a Mickey.
I didn't give her a Mickey. I merely discussed it. That's all.
A Mickey? What's that?
A Mickey, Mrs. Day, is an internal hot foot. You know, a sort of a liquid blackjack. Now, Dennis.
Yes, please?
Have you got a song all ready for us?
I sure have, Mr. Benny.
Well, go ahead. Let's hear it. Hold it a minute. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
I thought that horse you rode in the parade the other night was a beautiful animal.
You did?
Yes, especially south of the border, which was me. Goodbye.
Oh, he's everywhere. Sing, Dennis.
My prayer is to linger with you at the end of a day in a dream that's divine. My prayer is a rapture in blue with a world far away and your lips close to mine. Tonight, while our hearts are aglow, oh, tell me the words that I'm longing to know. And the answer you give, may they still be the same, for as long as we live, that you'll always be there at the end of my prayer. When the twilight is gone and no songbird is singing, when the twilight is gone, you come into my heart, and here in my heart you will stay while I pray. Tonight, while our hearts are aglow, oh, tell me the words that I'm longing to know. My prayer and the answer you give, may they still be the same, for as long as we live, that you'll always be there at the end of
That was My Prayer, sung by Dennis Day, and very good, Dennis. That was one of your best songs. You did it beautifully.
Gee, thanks.
It was a grand job. In fact, you sang much better than you did last week.
What was the matter with last week?
Nothing was the matter with last week. I simply said he sang better today.
Oh, then you mean Dennis is not consistent?
I mean nothing of the kind. All I mean is that everybody can improve. Even Bing Crosby is better now than he used to be.
Well, if you like Crosby so much, why don't you get him?
Mrs. Day, don't be fooled by the way Crosby dresses. He doesn't work for peanuts. Those patches on his pants are baby bonds. Boy, what a woman.
It's your own fault, Jack. Why do you always stick your neck out?
I didn't stick my neck out. I'm the master of ceremony, so when Dennis finished the song, I said it was very good. Then Mrs. Day started an argument, and I answered it.
Well, Jack, there's an old Chinese proverb that says, when man argue with woman, man have 2 strikes before he open mouth.
Oh.
When open mouth, strike 3.
That was very clever, Ming Toy. But not quite true.
I think Miss Livingston is absolutely right.
Oh, you do? Well, there's another Chinese proverb, Mrs. Day, that goes something like this. When Mama walk around with Chip on shoulder, goodbye, Mr. Chip and Mama. That's just a little hinty. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Say, Jack, speaking of Chinese proverbs, I just thought up of a good one myself.
You did, Don? Said he with a sly look in his almond eyes? What is it?
When honorable customer ask esteemed groceryman for tempting and economical dessert, him sure get Jell-O, but flavor up to honorable customer.
Oh, well, tell us what the flavors are, Sing Fat. If humble servant, not too bold.
Yes, most gracious one. Jell-O comes 6 delicious flavors. Fungao, Fungao, Chow-Yao, Yung-Gao, Lum Toy, and Lime.
Well.
So look for the big red letters on the Yung-Gao Fu Chow Hung Li Ching.
My goodness, the word for box is a longie, isn't it? And now, ladies and gentlemen, going from Confucius to the ridiculous, tonight for our feature attraction, the Benny We Can Stand It If You Can players will present their annual football classic. A mystery melodrama entitled Murder on the Gridiron, or He Had 10 Yards to Go When He Went. Now, once again, I will play the part of Flash Benny, the famous coach for dear old Flatfoot. Now, Phil, you're going to be the...
Why can't I be the coach? I know more about football than you do.
What are you talking about? When I was a kid, I was the star quarterback for Waukegan High. Boy, was I fast. I used to kick the ball, carry the ball, and throw the ball.
Throw the what?
Throw the ball. You heard it. That was hot stuff in those days. I remember once I ran 95 yards for a touchdown.
Your legs didn't buckle then.
Yeah, don't buckle now. Anyway, getting back to our football play, Phil, you're going to be right end. Dennis, you're going to be left end. And Don.
Yes, Jack.
You're going to be right guard, left guard, center, and a fraternity house. So much for the line. Now in the...
Am I going to be on the team again this year, Jack?
Yes, Mary. We're short of men. You'll have to be one of the players. Now here's your equipment. Put it on.
Okay. Oh, Jack, do men wear these?
Put them on. Those are shoulder pads. Now, let's see. We're still short of men here. We need one more in the backfield.
I'll be glad to help you out, Mr. Benny.
Thank you, Mrs. Day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to make our play as legitimate as possible, I have gone to a great deal of trouble and expense to hire a real football player. That former star fullback of the Hermosa Beach Grunions, none other than Mr. Dynamite Dugan. And here he is, folks, in person. Well, did you hear that, Dynamite? That applause was for you.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate that spontaneous ovation.
Yes, sir. Now tell me, Mr. Dugan, how long is it since you played in a game?
Well, the last time I participated in a football contest was when we encountered Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute during the Philadelphia Sesquicentennial.
Oh.
However, in the intervening space of time, I ain't done nothing.
I see.
Hey, Jackson, this guy knows a lot of big words. I'd like to meet him.
It wouldn't hurt you any. Dynamite, this is Phil Harris, our orchestra leader.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Harris. Permit me to felicitate you on your Philharmonic aggregation.
Well, thanks, Bub. It's sure gratifying to meet a man of your intellect and mental fortitude.
Why, Phil!
That's topping him, eh, Jackson?
It certainly is.
I know more words than Noah and Webster put together.
That's one man, Noah Webster. He wrote the dictionary.
No kidding. I was under the impersonation it was two different guys.
Under the impersonation. Oh, brother. One thing about you, Phil, when you go haywire, you go all the way through. Impersonation comes from the word impersonator, and an impersonator is a mimic.
And a mimic is a man with no blood.
Mary, stop with those old jokes. What is this, a medicine show?
All we need is some snake oil.
Need? There are 8 bottles in the orchestra. And now, Phil, we're ready for a number.
Hey, what happened to me?
Pardon me, Dynamite, we digress momentarily. Now, our play tonight, Mr. Dugan, besides being a football drama, is also a murder mystery. And you're the guy that's going to get bumped off.
You mean I'm the corpus delicti?
Exactly.
Say, Jack, who's going to be the murderer?
That, Don, I cannot divulge. It may be one of us. It may be somebody sitting in our audience. And then again, it may be... This will go on immediately after the next number. Play, Phil. Isn't it thrilling, folks? That was In My Merry Oldsmobile, played by the orchestra, an old number which finally reached Harris. Phil's got a harp in his orchestra tonight. Now I've seen everything. I can quit radio. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our football mystery, Murder on the Gridiron, or That Ain't Ketchup on the Grass. Now, the locale of our play is Flatfoot College, located in the thriving little town of East Bunyan, Indiana. As the scene opens, the first half has just ended in the annual game with Meatball Tech. And Coach Flash Benny is giving his team a pep talk in the locker room. Curtain music. Now, listen, men. You're playing like a bunch of nitwits. What's the matter with you guys, anyway? Now, in this next half, I want you to go out and fight. Flatfoot can win. I know we're going to win.
Then why did you bet on Meatball?
Them odds were terrific. Now, look, fellas, this isn't a picnic, it's a football game. Why, I'm ashamed of the way you've been playing.
What are you talking about, Coach? We scored 97 points in the first half.
Sure, but Meatball scored 103. The way they've been crossing our goal line, you think we were giving away a Plymouth. My goodness.
What are we giving away?
Quiet. And you, Harris, why don't you snap into it? You've been playing like a sissy all afternoon.
Sissy, I got my arm broke, didn't I?
That was last night when you fell off the bandstand. Call yourself a football player. And you, Butch.
What is it, Coach?
Every time you get the ball, you just stand there. Why don't you run with it?
Oh, who would chase me?
Well, run and find out. Now, listen, fellas. We can win this game if you guys will only just put a little pep into it. A little fight. A little spirit.
Hey, Roach.
That's Coach. What do you want?
If that wasn't a stuffed horse, why did he have glass eyes?
Forget about that horse! Now, listen, fellas, we got to stop this fooling around. I'm going in myself this half and play quarterback in place of... who was playing quarterback?
We didn't have any.
No quarterback? Then how'd you give signals?
We built fires like Indians.
Oh, then I owe you all an apology. I thought you were holding a weenie bake out there. Now, Dynamite, I want you to carry the ball in every play. It's our only chance to win.
But, gee, Coach, I'm afraid. You saw that letter that said I was going to be bumped off.
Oh, stop worrying. It didn't say positively. Now, come on, fellas. Let's go out there and fight. Fight! Fight! What's that?
Look, Coach, somebody threw a brick through the window.
And there's a note on it addressed to Dynamite Dugan.
Give me that. It says, my dear Dynamite, if you play in the last half of this game, you will be bumped off. Signed positively. I guess they mean business.
That sounds bad, Coach. I'm scared.
Well, it's too late to do anything now, Dynamite. You just got to go out there and take a chance.
Yeah, maybe he'll win the Plymouth.
Oh, forget that. Now, come on, men. We're going out in that field. And remember, we're going to win this game for dear old Flatfoot, or I'll know the reason why.
I'll tell you now, we're lousy.
All right, snap into it, man. Come on, let's go.
Well, here we are, folks. The second half is about to begin. Meatball is already on the field, and here comes the Flatfoot team, led by their coach, Flash Benny. Listen to those cheers, folks. 80,000 people are gathered here today to witness this thrilling football game and the murder of Dynamite Dugan.
How do you know?
I'm getting out of here.
Take it easy, Dynamite. Take it easy. There's nothing to be scared of. You see, they missed you. Now follow me, Dynamite, but not too close. Come on, line up, men. I'll kick the ball.
There's the whistle, folks. The teams are lining up, and Flatfoot is about to kick off the meatball. Flash Benny is running towards the ball, and there's the kick.
Wow, I can still boot him, eh, Livy? Look at that pigskin sail.
Where?
Way up there.
That's the Goodyear blimp.
Well, I'll be darned.
Flash Benny missed the ball, folks. The old boy's eyes are bad.
They are not. I haven't got my glasses.
You got 'em on, but you can't see 'em.
Oh, yes.
They're lining up again, folks. Benny is trying once more. And there's the kick. It's a beauty, folks. Meatball receives the ball on the 10-yard line. Uh-oh, it's a fumble, and Flatfoot recovers. There's another fumble, and Meatball recovers. There's another fumble, and Flatfoot recovers. Meatball, Flatfoot, Meatball, Flatfoot. The ball's loose again. I told them they should have killed that pig.
Oh, quiet. Now, listen, men. This is the break we've been waiting for. We got the ball on their 1-yard line. And besides, the wind is with us. 1 yard to go, I'll carry the ball.
Pretty long trip for you, ain't it, Bub?
Don't get smart. I'll make it. Signal. 1, 3, 7, 9. I'll take that ball and crash their line.
There's the play. Benny has the ball, and what's this? They're pushing him back. Back 5 yards, 10 yards, 20 yards, 30, 40, 50.
Hey, wait a minute. I get off at 47th Street. Gee. Hey, what's the matter with you guys anyway? Don't I get any interference? I only had 1 yard to make, and now look where I am.
Well, don't blame us, Flash. We opened a big hole for you. Why didn't you go through?
The wind changed. I'm only human. All right, Dynamite, it's up to you. In this next play, I'll throw you a forward pass, and you run for a touchdown.
But, gee, Flash, suppose I get killed.
Then drop the ball. You can't take it with you.
Sure, don't worry. All right, men. Signals. 9, 7, 4, 6. If a man answers, hang up quick.
The ball is snapped to Benny. He throws a forward pass to Dynamite Dugan. Dynamite is running down the field. He's headed for a touchdown. Services at noon Wednesday.
Run, Dynamite, run! You only got 30 yards to go. Don't let that scare you, Dynamite. Keep going. You can make it, Dynamite. Run, run! Dynamite! Dynamite, speak to me. Who shot you? Who did it? Tell me, Dynamite, who did it?
My assassination was conceived and executed by...
Use shorter words, you'll never make it.
I was shot by...
Good heavens, he's dead.
This will be continued next Sunday night. Who killed Dynamite Dugan? Was it an inside job? Will the murderer be discovered? Will Jack give me a Christmas present?
Tune in next Sunday night and find out.
The favorite dessert of our forefathers was hasty pudding, so called because of the ease and speed with which it could be made. But today it's been replaced in busy kitchens by an even hastier pudding. Yes, I mean the new Jell-O puddings. These rich, tempting desserts may look fancy, but they really take just a few brief minutes to make. They're easy and simple to prepare, and they taste so swell that all over the country, folks are changing to Jell-O puddings and reveling in their smooth, creamy goodness. Because each of these grand desserts is a real triumph of taste. For example, try Jell-O chocolate pudding, a swell old-timer that tastes even better made this modern way. Or Jell-O butterscotch with its mellow golden flavor. Or Jell-O vanilla pudding, always delicate and delicious, and doubly so with fruits, nuts, dates, or marshmallows folded in. All three can be made quick as a wink, and you'll never find any pudding the family likes better. So why not do as many folks are doing today? Serve Jell-O puddings real often. And when you make out your grocery list for tomorrow, be sure to write down Jell-O chocolate, vanilla, and butterscotch pudding.
We're a little late, so good night, folks.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
J-E-L-L-O.
The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with I Want to Wrap You Up. You know, I was thinking the other day that probably the most popular dessert of all down through the years has been fruit. Yes, juicy ripe fruit still warm with the tang of sunny berry patch or orchard. Easy to see then, isn't it, why Jell-O is such a universal favorite? Because this famous dessert, ladies and gentlemen, has a rich, exhilarating flavor, as tasty and tempting as the real fresh fruit itself. Extra rich and extra delicious. Jell-O, as everybody knows, comes in 6 grand flavors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. And you can serve them in dozens of delightful ways. Jell-O just plain is about the nicest dessert ever. Or for variety, how about Jell-O cut into tiny shimmering cubes? Or a smooth, creamy Jell-O whip that simply melts in your mouth? Or a gay color combination of strawberry and lime Jell-O molded into brilliant contrasting layers? You'll want to try them all, so tomorrow, pass on the word to your grocer. Just say, Jell-O, please, and believe me, it will please, too. Look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. That was I Want to Wrap You Up, played by the orchestra. And now, folks, once again we bring you that genial personality who guides the destiny of this program. A man I am proud to be associated with, and whose friendship I shall always cherish, that grand artist, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking, and Don, that introduction was very sweet. Even if there are only 12 more shopping days till Christmas, I know you were sincere. You meant every word of it.
I certainly did, Jack.
What do you think I am, a dodo or something? You know, Wilson, every year at the same time, you and the rest of the gang bring out that banana oil and loosen me up into buying presents. I'm wise.
But, Jack, I honestly meant that introduction. There's no denying it. You are a grand artist.
Well, make me grand in April sometime. Then I'll believe you. I know what's going on.
Say, Jack.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello. Say, Jack, when is Christmas this year?
December 25th, Mary, same as every year.
Oh, then they didn't...
No.
Oh.
And, incidentally, Mary, I know it's 2 weeks before Christmas, so don't try patting me on the back like Don.
What do you mean?
I mean, don't tell me how marvelous I am. Just be yourself.
Why, Jack Benny, how can you talk like that? When did I ever say that you were anything but a sweet, lovely, adorable person?
Yipe! Mary, right now you're calling me an imbecile, expecting me to believe that.
But, Jack, sometimes you seem to have an inferiority complex. You always imagine that people are running you down.
I imagine?
Yes, you jump at conclusions. If I happen to say you're a heel, you always take it the wrong way.
Well, how else can I take it? A heel is a heel.
You said it.
There you are, Don. I imagine things, eh? Oh, and here comes another one of my pals. This guy's nuts about me. Hello, Phil.
Hello, baby. How's my favorite comedian?
As if you cared. You see, folks, all of a sudden I'm his favorite comedian.
I mean that. Honest, Jackson, you're funnier than I am.
I better be, Phil, or we'll all be working at no cover charge. This gang is so subtle. Every year it's the same thing. Just before Christmas, they respect me, and right afterwards, I'm in the doghouse. What are you laughing at?
From sir to cur in 2 weeks.
That's it, exactly.
Well, it's your own fault, Jack, with those cheap gifts you always give us.
Cheap?
Yes, last Christmas you gave me a meal ticket for the Melrose Grotto.
Well, the food is very good there. Anyway, Mary, wait till you see what I picked out for you this year. Are you in for a surprise?
What is it, Jack?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, come on, give me a hint.
Okay, see if you can guess. It comes in a little box, and when you take it out and put it on your finger, it shines like anything.
Holy smokes, nail polish.
All right, Smarty, if you're so clever, what shade is it? I guess I'll have some suspense around here.
Hey, Jackson, what are you going to give me this year?
I don't know, Phil. I just can't decide whether to get you a convertible sport roadster with a custom-built top and nickel-plated fittings, or have your shoes half-soled. I'll think it over.
I wish you would. I don't know whether to get a driver's license or go barefoot.
No, you don't. Say, Phil, why don't you do something about that cold? He's very hoarse, folks. He slept in a drafty gutter last night. And now, folks, come in.
Special delivery for Mary Livingston.
Here I am, boy. Give him the tip, Jack.
Okay. There you are, young man.
Oh, boy, a quarter.
A quarter?
Thanks, Mr. Benny.
Hand me my glasses, will you, Don? Well, Mary, who's the letter from?
My mother.
Oh, well, let's hear what Ninochka has to say.
Okay. My darling daughter, Mary, just a few words to let you know that I am feeling well and that I received your cute little check last week.
Cute little check?
I put the cute in.
Oh, it was a little check. I see. Go ahead.
Please send me another one and don't spare the zeros.
Boy, what a gold digger.
We had quite a crowd at the house for Thanksgiving dinner, including your cousin Lou and his wife Ruby, your sister Babe and her husband, and your uncle American Beauty.
Your uncle American Beauty?
Yeah, he's got a rosy nosy.
Oh, and I paid a quarter for this. Go ahead.
Among those unable to attend were Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, Robert Taylor, and Barbara Stanwyck.
All right, Mary, your mother doesn't have to rib me. Go ahead.
The dinner was simply marvelous. We had a great big turkey, which was delicious, which your brother won in a raffle, which he ran.
Oh, boy, what a family.
Well, at least we're not dull.
Oh, you're a riot, every one of you.
Oh, Jack, listen to this.
What?
Your sister Babe's husband, who is always inventing things, has almost perfected a new bulletproof vest.
A bulletproof vest?
I say almost because he tried it out on your late Uncle Willie.
Oh, my goodness. Anything else?
Must close now, as your father just walked in. He is on all fours as usual. No other news. Your loving mother on the Cobb Livingston.
Oh, fine. What an act she and Harris could do.
P.S. I like your new tenor, Dennis Day, and his mother is simply wonderful. I think it's a crime the way Jack picks on her.
I pick on her?
Well, don't argue with the letter.
Well, that's the nerviest thing I ever heard. Oh, Phil.
What is it, Jackson?
Do you think you can follow a red-hot mama with a hot number?
Sure, I'll follow anything.
There's an answer here, folks, but it's too obvious. Play, Phil. That was Oh Johnny, played by Oh Brother and his orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will continue with the football murder mystery, which we started last week. That pigskin melodrama entitled The Murder of Dynamite Dugan, or He Kicked the Bucket When They Kicked the Ball. Now, in episode 2 of our drama, I will play a double role, that of the coach, Flash Benny, as portrayed inimitably by myself last week. And also that brilliant sleuth who solves the crime this week, Detective Captain O'Benny.
Why don't you play all the parts and let us go home?
Phil, the only reason I'm playing a dual role is because I'm the only one who is capable of handling it. I'm the only real actor in this group.
If you're such a good actor, how come you never play dramatic parts in pictures?
Dramatic parts? I've been asking Paramount that for years. That's what I need, those Charles Lawton roles. Oh, boy, what a job I could do as Henry VIII.
Why not? You eat like him.
Listen, Mary, fingers were made before forks. And besides, you don't have to comment on my table manners. They're all right.
Go on. I saw you in a restaurant the other day, and you were fanning your soup with your hat.
Well, it was hot.
Why didn't you blow on it?
Phil, blowing is for coffee. Now, in our mystery drama
Speaking
tonight...
of table manners, ladies and gentlemen, never use a knife and fork in eating Jell-O.
Well, who would?
You would.
Oh.
Just take a spoonful, raise it to your lips, and you will taste America's most tempting dessert. It is economical, easy to make, and comes in 6 delicious flavors.
Now, in our mystery drama tonight, as I said before, I will be that brilliant sleuth who solves the crime, Detective Captain O'Benny.
Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
Oh, pardon me, Don. I thought you were through. Now, Mary, you're going to be a beautiful young co-ed who is madly in love with the victim, Dynamite Dugan. It's a very emotional part. Do you think you can handle it?
Sure. Oh, Dynamite, Dynamite, why did you leave me? Why did you have to die? I loved you, Dynamite. Loved you, loved you, loved you.
So look for the big red letters on the box.
Don, for heaven's sake. Next week we're going to rehearse this program. Anyway, Don, in our play, you're going to be my assistant, Sergeant Wilson. And Dennis...
Yes, please?
Oh. I didn't see you, Dennis. Have you been here all the time?
Yes, sir.
Well, why don't you speak up and say something?
I couldn't think of anything funny.
They shouldn't stop you around here.
Well, that's so. Now, Dennis, in our play tonight, you're going to be my other assistant, Officer O'Day. And Phil, as much as I hate to do this, and only as a last resort, you're going to be a college professor, the dean of Flatfoot University.
What do you mean as a last resort?
I mean, Phil, that allowing you to play a college professor for this one night may undermine the entire educational system of the United States and Canada. That's what I mean. And now that we're all cast, this play will go on immediately after Dennis Day's song. Go ahead, Dennis. Hold it a minute. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Well, what do you want?
Should I come down and pick you up in the car? No trouble at all, boss.
No, Rochester, I'm going to stay downtown for quite a while tonight.
Well, can I fix you a little snack in case you're hungry when you get home? I'll be glad to do it.
Now, Rochester, I know what you're up to. You've been acting like a little angel all week.
My, is Christmas coming so soon?
Sure, I knew you'd give yourself away. You don't have to act so nice, Rochester. Your Christmas present is bought already.
It is. I wonder what it can be.
Well, all I'm going to tell you is it's a very practical gift, and you'll enjoy pushing it around on the rugs.
But, boss, you gave me a vacuum cleaner last year.
Well, this is the latest model. Instead of an ordinary hum, it plays Shoot the Dust to Me, John Boy. It's a lovely tune.
I don't care if it plays Memphis Blues. It ain't going to trick me.
Never mind. And by the way, Rochester, how's Trudy?
Oh, she's fine, boss.
Trudy?
Yes, that's that ostrich I bought by mistake for Thanksgiving. I'm keeping her for a pet. So, Trudy's all right, eh, Rochester?
Yeah, but you know, boss, I don't think she likes Carmichael.
What do you mean?
She just laid a big egg and threw it right in his face.
Oh, that's terrible.
But he got even with her, though. You know that bucket of sand the ostrich always sticks her head in?
Yes?
Well, Carmichael put glue in it.
Glue? Well, for heaven's sake, did you get her head out of the bucket?
I sure did. And say, boss, remember how long her neck was?
Yes?
Well, you can skip rope with it now.
Well, look, Rochester, keep those two separated, and I'll be home in a little while. So long.
So long. Oh, say, boss.
What?
Would you mind bringing my salary up to date so I can buy you a Christmas present?
Don't worry about your salary.
Doggone, if I had brains, I'd quit this job.
What? What did you say?
Did I say it? I was only thinking it. So long, boss.
What a guy. To hear him talk, you'd think I owed him 6 months' salary.
To hear you talk, you think you didn't.
Quiet, Miss Livingston. I haven't got that nail polish wrapped up yet. Sing, Dennis.
I heard a robin sing today. Spring is just across the way. And there I go again, it seems, finding you here in my dreams. I see lilacs in the rain, and you are with me again. When April sprinkles her dreams in my heart, when we parted in the lane, the skies were tearful with rain. The scent of lilacs remained in my heart. Other arms around you now, some other love has found you now. But when love forgets to smile, my darling, once in a while, remember April and lilacs in the rain. Two other arms around you now, some other love has found you now. But when love forgets to smile, my darling, once in a while, remember April and lilacs in the
That was Lilacs in the Rain, sung by Dennis Day. And Dennis, your vocal was simply beautiful. Gosh, I could almost smell the lilacs.
What about the music?
That too, Phil. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the second episode of our college mystery thriller entitled Murder on the Gridiron, or Mr. Dugan Goes to Forest Lawn. Now, the opening scene of our play is the office of Captain O'Benny at police headquarters. It is 4 p.m. Curtain. Music. Hello, police headquarters. Captain O'Benny speaking. What's that, madam? You want a policeman to come to 118 Elm Street? What's the trouble? Oh, you just want a policeman. Okay, goodbye. Oh, hello, Sarge.
Hello, Captain. How are things going?
Not so good, Wilson. There's so much crime in this town, I had to buy a trailer for the patrol wagon. And incidentally, Wilson, I wish you'd take off a little weight. Every time you inhale, a button pops off your uniform. It's annoying. There goes another one. And you, O'Day.
Yes, please?
You're a fine cop, too. Last week you helped a burglar carry a heavy safe out of a building.
Well, he said it would give me muscles.
Well, there must be some other way to get him. What a policeman. Where are your handcuffs?
Right here.
Well, take them off. They're for criminals. I'll tell you one thing, men. If we don't... I'll take it. Hello, Captain O'Benny speaking. What? I'll be right over. Goodbye. Oh, boy.
What's up, Cap?
The dean of Flatfoot College just called me up and told me that their star fullback, Dynamite Dugan, was running down the field with the ball just now in their annual game with Meatball Tech, and he only had 10 yards to go to make a touchdown when all of a sudden a person or persons unknown fired several shots into his body, killing him almost immediately in the presence of 80,000 spectators, and the score was 103-97 in favor of Meatball. Boy, did that guy talk fast. Come on, men, let's go.
Where are we going?
We're going out to pick berries, so wear some old clothes. Where are we going?
We better step on it, Cap. There'll be a lot of traffic around the stadium.
You're right, Wilson. Let's get started. We'll go to the dean's office first. You drive the car, O'Day, and don't spare the cylinders. I'll solve this crime, or my name ain't...
Calling all cars. Calling all cars. Football player murdered at Flatfoot College. Go there immediately. Officer Murphy will now sing When Irish Eyes Are Smiling.
When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like the morning spring.
Shut that off. That guy ain't near as good as that quartet they used to have. Step on it, O'Day. Well, here we are, men. Now, here's the dean's office. I'll go in and grill him. Stick with me, O'Day.
Yes, sir.
And Wilson, you surround the building.
Righto, Cap.
But I can't understand it. I wasn't here. But I didn't have anything.
All right, quiet, everybody. Quiet. Break it up. Which one of you is the dean?
I am, Captain. Professor Harris is my name.
Pleased to meet you, Professor. Now, tell me, what do you know about the murder of Dynamite Dugan?
Nothing at all, Captain. However, I feel it must have been someone with an interior motive.
That's ulterior, Professor. Now, where were you at the time of the murder?
Down in the Meddy and the itty-bitty pool.
Don't get smart. So you're the head of this college, eh?
Only days. At night he's the janitor.
Well, who's this dame?
I'm Toots Livingston, Dynamite's girlfriend.
Oh, so your sweetheart was murdered 10 minutes ago, eh?
Well, I've got a new boyfriend, if that's what you mean.
Oh. Make a note of that, O'Day.
Why, is it me?
No. Now listen, young lady. If you were Dynamite's sweetheart, what are you doing here in the dean's office?
I didn't know my lesson, and he kept me after school.
Oh, he did, eh?
Sure, if they don't know their lessons, I gotta learn them.
I'm talking to Toots. Now, how do I know he kept you after school?
Look at that blackboard. He made me write Wilshire Bowl 1,000 times.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll get to the bottom of this murder.
Pardon me, may I go now?
Wait a minute, Junior. Who are you?
I work here.
You work here?
Yes, I'm a professor of Pansin
Professor of what?
That's the study of Ralph Fram, continuing it, Kaskamburger Calculage, and Polska and political science.
Make a note of that, O'Day.
How do you spell Ralph Fram?
Capital Rumpf, Elk, Grin, Semp, double Tren, and Vidu. You got that?
Salafleet.
Good. Now listen, everybody. I want you to come with me.
Where are we going?
There's an old saying that a murderer always returns to the scene of his crime. It never fails. So follow me, everybody. We're going out to that football field and wait for the man or woman who committed this dastardly crime.
Do I have to go along?
Yes, Dean, you too.
But I'm lecturing tonight on psychological research in the field of hypothetical relativity. Pay me.
Here you are.
What's that for, Cap?
I bet him $5 he couldn't read that. Now, come on, everybody. We're going to that football field, and I'll find the murder of Dynamite Dugan, or my name ain't...
4 days later.
Don't be impatient, fellas. A murderer always returns to the scene of his crime.
10 months later.
Don't worry, fellas. We'll get him. A murderer always returns to the scene of his crime.
35 years later. And our little group is still waiting on that football field.
Well, we're still here. But don't worry, fellas. A murderer always returns to the... How does that darn thing go?
To the scene of his crime, you old goat.
Doggone it, this is the hardest case I was ever on.
It ain't any harder than your arteries.
I wouldn't talk if I were you, Professor Harris. Your face is so full of wrinkles it looks like a prune that worried. Hey, wait a minute. Am I going crazy? Look, that's the first time I ever saw gray grass.
That's your beard. Reel it in.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Officer O'Day, why don't you say something?
Hey!
Deaf of the post, folks. Well, we got to stay right here until we solve the murder of
Dynamite Dugan, you old quince face.
Oh, yes, we got to find out who stabbed him.
He wasn't stabbed. He was poisoned.
Poisoned?
You're both wrong. He was shot.
He was not.
He was, too, because I done it.
What? You killed Dynamite Dugan?
You're darn tootin' I did.
Well, doggone, why didn't you say so sooner?
You didn't ask me.
Oh. Well, I'm glad we got the right man. Slap the handcuffs on him, O'Day.
Hey?
I said slap the handcuffs on him.
I can't get him off.
Well, don't bother then. I've known this fella for 35 years. Guess I can trust him. Say, Toots.
What do you want?
During all this time, I got a kind of crush on you. How about you and me getting married and settling down?
Nothing doing. I want to have my fling first.
Well, step on it, gal. You ain't no flapper. Come on, O'Day. Let's go back to the office. There might be some mail. Playboys.
During the holidays just ahead, there's one grand old-fashioned American treat that everybody goes for. Rich, spicy, tempting mincemeat. Yes, sir, it's a traditional American favorite. And tonight I'm going to tell you about a new way to enjoy it in a swell recipe called Jell-O Mincemeat Mold. Spicy mincemeat molded with rich, glowing cherry Jell-O in the grandest combination you ever tasted. And here's how you make it. First, dissolve 1 package of cherry Jell-O in 1 3/4 cups of hot water and chill until slightly thickened. Then add 1 cup of mincemeat to 1/2 the Jell-O mixture and chill until firm. Pour the rest of your clear Jell-O on top of your firm Jell-O and chill. And what a treat. Rich red cherry Jell-O with its real Christmas color, and inside that shimmering mold, the tangy, luscious mincemeat. Serve it plain or with foamy whipped cream on top. Either way, it's a real dessert triumph, so try it soon. Your grocer has that cherry Jell-O all ready for you. And I know your family are all ready to enjoy this cheerful Christmas dessert, Jell-O Mincemeat Mold.
This is the last number. This is the last number of the 10th program in the current Jell-O series. And we will be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. I hope you all liked our little murder mystery.
You know, Jack, you play an old man's character very well. You'd never know you were acting.
Thanks, Mary.
Were you?
Oh, quiet. Good night, folks.
Here's news. Every Tuesday night, the Aldrich Family is on the air, starring Ezra Stone as Henry Aldrich, that lovable hard-luck kid. Consult your local newspaper for time and stations, and be sure to tune in the Aldrich Family next Tuesday night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
All right, welcome back to Yesterday Today. That was the Jack Benny Show. You've been listening to shows about football today, and it's been a nice time. I do need a couple of ibuprofen now after listening to Willie for the last couple of hours. She's been talking their ear off about offshore savings accounts and something about Bill Gates adopting Tupac and how we can scam the Big Ten football conference to do something with... Look, I don't know. I'm very confused, and frankly...
Hey, William. Hey, Mr. William, sir, Mr. Bossman.
Yes. What, Sidney? You smell like bleach.
That's a nice cap and gown you got on there.
Hey, it's official college professor garb, okay?
A cap and gown is usually worn by a graduate, Sidney.
Mr. Bossman, what was I supposed to call you?
Dean Huckster. Come on now.
I have a question. You promised me an office, and I don't even know what a college is, let alone my office. And I gotta know where the office is if I'm gonna put a framed picture of my cat on the wall. So, where are we at here? Come on.
Yeah, Sydney's probably wondering the same thing I was when I saw that the address you had on file for the building was a prison in North Dakota.
How am I supposed to teach my class from a prison? Also, what am I teaching again? I forgot.
It doesn't really matter what you're teaching, Sidney. All academia is just bunk and bupkis anyway.
Bunk and bupkis?
It's really about the glory of the gridiron, my boys, out there on the field.
Look, am I getting tenure or not here? I'm just, how much am I getting paid is what I'm asking.
Paid? Well, don't you got that cap? Don't you got that nice gown? You know, it's more about the
You know what? You can keep the cap and gown. I ain't taking this Mickey Mouse job in the Staffy Gap College, buddy.
Put something back on, for heaven's sake.
I'm out of here.
Lord, I did not need to see that.
I'm gonna go back to janitorial work, a respectable profession.
Well, please put clothes on at least.
College nonsense. What was I thinking? Jeez Louise.
For goodness sake.
I, for one, am just so glad that this scam of Willie's was completely fake, and that we can move on from this.
Well, now, you can't technically call it a scam because it's not complete yet. It's only in progress.
Scam.
Once it's complete, then you're legally obligated to...
Willie.
Oh, well, yes.
A little on the nose there,
Yeah, keep it off the nose there.
Okay, Willie, I think it's high time we end this show. We end our professional relationship with you and so many things right now, so...
Didn't you file a restraining order?
No, we didn't, because you made several threats against us if we tried.
Oh, that's right. See, but because I sent you those threats by mail, there's a written legal record of that occurring, so I can't be liable for it because there's a written record.
How on earth would there be a record of these threats? Make you not liable for the threats.
Well, see, it all goes back to a ship called the USS Maine, which was supposedly sunk as part of the start of the Spanish-American War.
Mondo!
Now, that ship is actually the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Mondo, come in here.
Whoa.
What do you want? What you want? Can you please remove this man from this building? Leave it to Mondo. Come here.
Whoa.
Hey. Should we chuck him out the window? We never chucked anyone out the window before.
Don't you dare defenestrate me, no!
Well, we are on the second floor.
I'd be interested in seeing that personally.
I decline to be defenestrated. Y'all heard
Mondo,
it?
Can you aim for that dumpster down there so it doesn't necessarily kill him, but just kind of puts a shock into him? Oh, don't worry. We used to throw a nice spiral with a shot put in college. Okay, hold on, Mr. Willie. Gonna need to get that window fixed, though. Oh, well. Worth it. Thanks for listening to Yesterday Today. It's Jake, McLean, Mondo. Thank you, Mondo. Just doing me job.
Mondo should have played football with a throw like that. I could see him winning the big ones for the scam artists.
Yep, watch that team go tearing down the field. See you next time, folks.